So what this is going to be, guys, is I'm going to be removing high spots and then reapplying the Carpro coating. I believe it's the UK coating. Another detailer coated this, and he did it for really cheap, but like most things, you know, you kind of get what you pay for. And so hopefully it'll show in the camera, but there are several high spots. Yeah, so you can see that there. Looks like a smudge, but it is indeed a high spot that he missed. And so there's a lot of them. There's another one. There's another one. I can get the right lighting. But yeah, it looks like a smudge. I mean, in the camera, it's not showing up quite as obvious. Even under here, under the mirror, just looks like streaking. But it looks really obvious in person. And so, when he had this guy coat it right before I got involved, he probably would have had me do it. Well, I know he would have had me do it, especially in hindsight. You see that one right behind the door handle, well, two of them. There's some more down here. So, oh yeah, remember there's a big one down here. So, yeah, all that. So, normally what they recommend, or what they say, is that you have to wet sand the high spots off if they're completely cured, and in this case they are completely cured. I mean, it's been over a month since he applied it, since he did it. So normally they say that you have to wet sand it off. I think it just depends. Like in this case, these are pretty thick, most of them, and so I think that's a possibility. But like always, you know, you want to start off with the least aggressive method. So in this case, you know, I probably wouldn't use a finishing polish, but go to a compound, like just throwing one out there that I'm looking at right now is M105. I actually forgot to bring my Sonax Cut Max with me, because I would actually have tried that. But the good old M105, or you know, the Griot's fast correcting cream is a good one. So, and then Sonax Cut Max is a really good one. I wish I would have remembered to bring that. I didn't think about it till just now. But yeah, so I'm going to try that, but I'm not going to spend all day polishing or compounding, creating a lot of heat, when instead I can take a little 3-inch, this little Griot's Garage, you know, hand applicator for, you know, doing everything with the 3-inch, whether it be applying a wax or wet sanding. I like in situations like this to kind of finesse it, and you know, you can do it with a machine like my 2-inch 2-inch air. Well, it's not right here, but if y'all seen a previous video, I've got that little 2-inch random orbital DA that's pneumatic, and but I have a hard time finding the 2-inch sanding disc for that, and so it's easier for me to get the 3-inch ones, and so I'm perfectly fine doing this. If it was, you know, doing a whole car or something, then obviously I'd want to do it by machine, but when it's just spots, I'm perfectly fine with this. This paper, if it'll show up, if it'll focus, this is the first time I just got this in, first time I'll be using it. This is 3M sandpaper. It's 1500 grit, but it's got a ton of little holes in it, and I just haven't seen this particular type. So I'm just interested to see how it works out. I'll kind of report on that. Let's see what the box says. I just went ahead and got a box of them. The Trizac clear coat sanding disc, the 02094, 25 of them. It's got the hooked attachment system. I really like the 3M sandpaper. I love their 3000 grit, and I just like all of them. So I need to get me some more. What is it, 800 grit? But anyhow, I'm gonna put this on pause. There's some more behind. No, I think I already showed you all that. But and it kind of sucks because some of the spots he got it in, I mean, don't get me wrong, I can get it, but you know, and it makes sense that it would be, you know, in spots that aren't out in the open. At least you would think, you know. This one kind of down here kind of is. But so anyways, I'm gonna put it on pause, and I'll come back and show y'all some of the process. All right guys, so what I ended up doing was took my little 2-inch central pneumatic. Oh no, my little things fell off. Oh well. So this 2-inch central pneumatic polisher, and then these are 2-inch Buff and Shine Eurocell. These are the maroon pads, which are I think like a medium cutting pad, like, you know, probably the equivalent to a lot of other companies' orange pad. So, you know, it still finishes out pretty decent, yet has a little more bite to it than the yellow pads. I really like these pads, and I really like the yellow version of this in their Eurocell pads. I think it is very comparable to Rupes yellow pad, I think. I think it's got about the same amount of bite to it, yet finishes very well. So, but the maroon and the yellow pad is all I have out of their line in this 2-inch, and that usually does me fine. So anyways, I got the good old M105 out. Set that down. And so we put a little bit of that on there, and I don't know if y'all remember from where I was showing you. Let's see if I'm gonna do with my light. Oh, I don't know if y'all remember from where I was showing you, but if you can see that spot right there, looks like a smudge. Okay, so there was a big one. If you can see this tape that I've got right here, there was a big one that was going right here. If you go back and look in the video, that was in front of this little one, and that's what I hit with the little 2-inch with the maroon pad and the M105. Didn't hit it for very long, and it came out. I also took me just one of my low pile microfiber towels here, and there was a little spot, I think I showed it too. There was a little spot right in here where I've got the tape, because I'm using the tape to mark it, so that way I know where to go back, and I'm going to recoat, you know, over where I've removed the high spot, because chances are if you remove the high spot, you might remove the coat. There might be no coating left in that area, so I'm just going to go ahead and recoat it. He's still got some left, so if I had to pay for the $100 bottle of Carpro, we'd be talking about a different thing. But anyhow, you know, just taking a towel, rubbing it for about 20 seconds. Actually, I rubbed it for about 20 seconds, wiped it off, and then there was still a little bit left, rubbed it for another 20, and that got it. You know, it's hard to, I don't have a paint thickness gauge, so it's hard to tell how much, you know, if that one was thicker than the one over here. It looks like they were about the same. They look like they're, you know, decent smudges, a decent thickness. So I wouldn't have been surprised if I would have had to wet sand, because I'm pretty sure this is the Seacorch UK 3.0, is it? I'll have to get the bottle out later, or he's got it. But yeah, so, you know, that's on the harsh scale of things. And so I wouldn't have been surprised if I would have had to wet sand, but I'm not having to, so that works just fine for me. One step I don't have to do, and I think this is going to turn out well. So I guess what I'll probably do is, like on this one right here, I'll let Ryan hold the camera and I'll just show y'all. I'll do a section of it and y'all can see what I'm talking about. So let me pause it. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of our M105, just put a little dab on here, because I'm going to do a small spot. What I've done is I've taken and taped off right here. So in this corner where the majority of it is, you're probably not going to be able to see it without me pulling the light out. But it's the same as what I just showed you a second ago in this corner. And where the tape is, there's still going to be a little bit left. So my thinking is maybe that'll show you that it removed this, and you can see the difference of where I haven't gone. So get started here. The one thing about this M105 is that it does like the dust, but so I don't love doing it, using it to do a whole car, but in a situation like this, it works very well. Get it wet again. Wipe this off and see what we got. Apologies if the camera is shaky and to make y'all nauseous. So let me pull this tape up right here. Get her white, and we'll see if that got it. So I don't know if it's going to show y'all on the camera if it's the right angle or whatnot, but hopefully you can see, you know, right here, this high spot where it looks like a smudge, and that's, you know, where, you know, I stopped about right in here. I had it taped right in here. So then the high spot continues down through here, if that's going to show on camera. Like I said, I know I got it on camera before I started doing this. I just don't know if it's showing up right this second. But other than smudges that I'm leaving behind, it looks like it got the high spot for the most part. So I probably even went at it a little longer than I would have had to. So not a whole lot of effort to remove it. Still, if this is something that you can avoid, you definitely want to avoid it. You definitely want to, you know, try to make sure that when you're applying a coating, that you know, you're not waiting too long. Now most of them you don't want to apply it and then immediately wipe it off, because then it's not gonna bond. But you know, it's just a thing where if it's tacky, then it's ready to come off. So you don't want to wait until, and in this case, it's not like he left it too long. What he did was he straight up just missed spots. You know, he was probably in a hurry and just missed spots and didn't, you know, double check his work. And that's a big part of everything, is double checking your work. You know, having the right lighting. Probably didn't have that. From what I understand, the guy works at a dealership, and so I think it's the dealership where they bought his wife's car, and so somehow, you know, he ended up getting acquainted with him, and the guy did it. He did it very cheap. I'm surprised at how cheap he did it, but you know, you're gonna have your downfalls, because you know, now I've got to come in and remove the high spots and recoat them, and even though I'm luckily getting to just polish it and I'm not having to go into wet sanding in this case, it's still, you know, time consuming. And so if it's something you can avoid, you know, if there's somebody, if you don't want to do it and you're going to pay somebody to do it, you know, I just don't know what to tell you. Don't get me wrong, there's exceptions for every rule, but for the most part, you get what you pay for. Now, I'm not telling you not to shop around and just go to the most expensive one, because I never do that. I always shop around, because usually somewhere in the middle, and that's where I try to be in this. Not the cheapest, but not the most expensive right now, and I try to float in the middle. And you know, so I feel like that my customers and clients are definitely getting their money's worth. I feel like, you know, me and I can think of some more, you know, that I know, some on YouTube, that I feel like, you know, if everybody was like those guys, and myself included, then you wouldn't have situations like this. Or if you did, it'd be that, like, if this would have happened to one of my customers, if I applied it and there was high spots, I would come back and fix that. I wouldn't charge them to fix that. Obviously, I would make that right, and that goes with everything, not just coatings. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So leave down in the comments, let me know if y'all have come across this issue, if y'all have ever had to remove high spots. You've applied a coating, have high spots. Let me know if you're in that situation right now and you need some advice on it that I didn't point out in this video. I'm sure there's a lot that I missed that I didn't point out in this video. Just wanted to make a real quick one showing me removing this. And like I said, I used a regular low pile towel, so if you don't have a polisher, you know, like I said, 2 20-second passes, I just put it on the tip of this towel, took my finger like this right here, and in between this pillar here, like I said, I rubbed back and forth for 20 seconds, wiped it off. There was a little bit left, so I did it again for 20 seconds. That got it. So you don't have to have any fancy polishers. This M105 is usually, I think they sell it at Walmart, most auto parts store. I've even seen it at Harbor Freight. So this is pretty easy to get a hold of. And all you need then is a microfiber towel or microfiber applicator, and you can do this. So you know, in this situation here, this guy's having me do it, but in all reality, he's got the coating already. He could have done this. It's not, in this case, it's not hard. We're not getting into wet sanding. So yeah, like always, y'all leave some comments down below, and till the next one, y'all either be good or be good at it.